disdain a veteran beat cop has for an idealistic, college-educated young detective. A prissy boy who wants to do a man's job without getting his hands dirty. At 6'2", with a solid linebacker's physique, square face, stubborn jaw, and piercing eyes, Quinn didn't fit anyone's image of a prissy boy. But few of the hitmen who scorned him had ever seen him. Like me, Quinn kept to himself, and for good reason. Killing criminals wasn't the only way Quinn pursued justice. He was a federal agent. What branch, I had no idea. I didn't ask. Most people in my profession would have a problem partnering with a cop, even one moonlighting as a hitman. I didn't. I came from a long line of law enforcement officers. My life goal had been to join that family tradition, and I had, until 7 years ago, when I shot a suspect point blank, made national headlines, and saw my life crash and burn. As I rounded the last flight, Quinn backed inside. Gaze still fixed on the trash-cluttered courtyard, he unbuttoned his dark overcoat to reveal a suit. I passed him the fake briefcase that housed my takedown rifle. As I tugged off my shoes, he backed in another step and gave me his arm for support. Off with the sneakers and on with the pumps, more suited to my slacks and blazer. There was more to our disguises than clothing, but that was all we changed. I let go of his arm, then slung the leather knapsack with my gear onto my shoulder. Quinn took my hand. We walked quickly through a narrow alley, then slowed to a stroll as we stepped into a paved passage between office towers. At the end, we merged with the commuter crowd heading to the subway. As we stepped onto the subway stairs, the distant wail of sirens was almost swallowed by the roar of rush-hour traffic. There are many names for what I do. Want to channel your inner godfather? Go for hatchet man or hired gun. Prefer an air of legitimacy? Try professional killer or contract killer. Add an air of mystery and intrigue? Use assassin. I like it plain and simple. Hitman. Hit woman or even hit person if one wants to be PC. But if you ask me, politically correct and killer are two terms never meant to go together. I moonlight as a hitman to keep my business, a wilderness lodge, open. After the crash of my life 7 years ago, the lodge is my lifeline to sanity, and if killing traitors for a small New York crime family keeps it running, then that's fine with me. I know it shouldn't be, but it is. Quinn doesn't need the money. He needs to scratch the itch that can come with immersing yourself in a justice system that doesn't always see justice done. I exploded on the job and watched my career implode. Quinn found a better way. I met him 6 months ago. My mentor, Jack, put together a team to go after a hitman whose foray into serial killerhood put us at risk. He'd invited Quinn to keep us abreast of the federal investigation. Quinn and I had exchanged almost weekly emails since. Then, 2 weeks ago, he said he had a job in Toronto, could use a second pair of hands and eyes, and, knowing I lived somewhere in Ontario, would I be interested? I'd insisted on taking the shot. I'd been distance shooting since high school, and narrowly missed being on the Olympic team. Quinn had started 3 years ago. When he balked, I'd reminded him that he was risking my safety on his marksmanship. That made him back down. "Hey, there's the CN Tower," he said as we emerged from the subway. "Earlier it was hidden in the fog." Smog. "I didn't think you got that up here." "We get everything up here. Except HBO." He peered up at the tower as we moved away from the commuter crowd.